Hello, everyone. This is Tara coming to you from the back deck in Maine with Wayne. Having a pretty good day today. It's been a little interesting lately, and that's all good because everything is part of the journey, right? But I wanted to kind of go over my first month in the light and just talk about a couple things. Well, one thing I'm going to talk about first is my hair's getting long, and I have no idea how much it's grown, but I do know it feels a lot thicker in my roots, even though I'm really loving the silver. If you can notice at my sideburns there, it's starting to come in dark. Now, I'm a natural blonde, so coming in dark, but that happens. It depends. You know, if I decide to lighten my hair a little lighter than it normally was, the roots would come in dark. But if I do my hair dark, my roots come in light. It's crazy. But I stopped dyeing my hair a while back, and I think it's been over a year since I said I'm tired of waiting for the gray to come in. And I went and had a professional pull me down as much as she could. So, but you can see, you know, that I still have some goldenness about it. But other than that, that's pretty interesting. So I'm hoping that it doesn't turn my hair dark. But I'll take whatever happens, because healthy hair is better than having hair that maybe aesthetically you wanted it to be a certain way. But right now, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. I just got done cleaning the Jeep for the first time by hand since I got it, or since we got it, actually. And that was pretty cool. The only thing, you know what? You know how you can get those spray foams for your tires, and it makes them beautiful? I wish they would make that for windows. I cannot do windows. And I've determined that when I grow up and I'm rolling in the dough, I am actually going to hire a detailer to come to the house once a month and get it done right. Because it just, no matter how hard I try, my fingers just can't get in little spots and blah. Anyway, I'm not complaining. I'm actually pretty excited. The Jeep looks fabulous, and you know, it is good. So anyway, I wanted to go over some things that have been kind of results that I've had recently and over the past month. I've talked about it quite a bit, but right now the first thing on the top of my head is my hair. Another thing is, you know, sometimes things can get harder before they get better. And this particular therapy that I'm using to help my body, mind, and soul heal on its own, using its own gumption, it's I don't know if it's an effect of it or whether or not I've just become more aware of it and really wanting to do something about it, being more motivated, I guess is the word. I've been a little bit on the struggle side, just not as good as I used to be, and I don't know if I was ever really good at it, at kind of being more resilient, you know. And I don't know if I was ever really bad at it in comparison. You know, I don't know. You can't compare. Everybody's got problems. The thing is I put my foot down for myself, and I said, self, you're going to get through this, and you're going to mend that fence and get it right. And I reached out to somebody that I knew would either be able to point me in the right direction or something, because I was starting to get a little bit more on the worried side, you know, where something would upset me and it would just bring me to really dark places in my mind. And so I don't know if that's a result of the in the light therapy, or if that's just a part of my own process, or maybe it's a combination of both. But I think that's pretty interesting. And so I actually reached out, and I actually was introduced to somebody that's going to be able to help me with this process. And it's not just like a therapy, it's kind of a therapeutic coaching, but I think coaching is a lot like that anyway. So I'm very blessed and highly favored that I have that resource, and I am going to do my best at it. I'm not just going to waste it. I feel like we can't waste anything anymore. So that's one thing. and I have no idea if that is directly connected, but I am sure that the in the light therapy that I'm doing is going to be of assistance to that. And, in the past, I just never reached out for help, no matter how dark it got. And I've had dark patches. So, I'm proud of myself for that. And I encourage you, if you're having dark thoughts or sad, scary thoughts, and they're coming up too much, reach out to somebody, okay? Reach out to somebody. Because it's important. The mental health right now in the United States and probably all over the world is insane. I mean, they're not even reporting suicide rates at the CDC anymore. I wonder why. Maybe the real pandemic is something different than what people thought. But anyway, one other thing is Sunday I went to bed, I was fine. Woke up about 2 o'clock in the morning, and on Sunday I was like, I think my sinuses or my allergies are kind of being a little funky. I was noticing I was phlegming up more. I had more stuff coming out of my nose than normal, and I just noticed that on Sunday nonchalantly. And I don't like to take even over the counter stuff, you know what I mean? So I was just ignoring that. And I woke up at 2 o'clock in the morning. My throat was completely dry. I was like, oh God, I just like, oh yeah. So it felt like it was like a cold, but I'm pretty sure it was just my sinuses. And so I woke up, I made some soup, and because the reason why I made soup at 2 o'clock in the morning is because I wanted to take some zinc, some vitamin C, and some vitamin D, even though I obviously am not having a problem with vitamin D. I'm outside as much as I can be. But I know that those supplements, it always says take with a meal. So I was like, all right, chicken noodle soup it is. So I popped myself open some comfort food, put it in the microwave, sat down, ate it, took 2 zinc, took 2 C's, took 2 D's. And then I went downstairs, did a neti pot, went to bed, and woke up yesterday a little bit later than normal. But it was obvious that I needed to sleep, and was pretty tired in the morning. And then finally I was like, okay, I'm coming out of it, and didn't feel bad at all. And this morning I woke up kicking butt and taking names. Let me tell you what. I was down getting a new chip key made for the Jeep at 7:30 in the morning. The guy's like, really? And I'm like, yeah, let's do this right now. And I feel really good. I come home, made some homemade chicken noodle soup so I wouldn't be having that chicken noodle soup that says sunshine. I can't tell. Homemade chicken noodle soup so that when I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm not putting canned chicken noodle soup into my body. But yeah, I feel great. So there's a lot of different things. I was just watching, learning from a couple other people that are in the light therapying as well. And I just heard some crazy stuff. One gentleman has been doing this therapy for 25 months. Now, everybody has a different, everything's different for everybody. Your body knows what it needs to work on when it needs to work on it. Hi, Wayne. And one of the things that this gentleman was talking about, he's had a great time. But one thing, he used to be a mail delivery guy in Florida for years, and he's like me and doesn't do sunblock. And he developed hundreds of little skin cancer things on his body, and a few different times he's had them burnt off by his doctor. And he didn't even realize it. He didn't even know. But he's thinking probably about month 20 because he wasn't paying attention to that. He just didn't think that was ever going to stop or be something that he was actually going to be able to fix without having like surgeries and that kind of stuff. That, traditional medical route. He was in the shower one day, and he noticed something was different, and he freaked out, and he called his wife into the room, and out of the hundreds of cancerous little things that were all over, there were like little white flakes that he would get, like little white patches. they were gone. He only has one left, and he laughed because it's on his middle finger. He's like, that's funny. So when you're experiencing this kind of thing, you might not even realize something's going on, and then boom, your body knows it's got to do it, and it just happens. It's gone. And so I think that's pretty extraordinary, and that's encouraging to me because there's all sorts of different things that I want to see happen right away. I want my blood pressure to be perfect right away. By the way, my baby's got me a whole blood pressure monitoring system so I can check it. And last night was the first time I've seen, this is another good thing. The last time that I've seen a good blood pressure reading has been over a year. Okay, and last night I had a green reading. That's pretty cool. This morning I didn't have a green reading, but it wasn't as crazy as it has been. It was probably 10 points lower on the top number, which is pretty great. So that's a good thing. But I like that to just be perfect right now. But I can't get impatient because it's going to work on what it needs to work on when it needs to work on it. So I would like my shoulder to be completely back, or my arm and the nerves. It's not going to happen overnight. That's just not going to happen overnight. I'm going to just have to deal with that. I got to let it do its job on my body where it needs it the most. Because even though that may be something, those two things may be something that are like in my face, it's not necessarily, maybe there's something else that's being worked on that I wasn't even aware of. So if you ever decide to reach out to me and ask about this, and I've got a testimonial private group, I've got lots of studies and information I could give you about it, and you decide that you want to do it, you got to go for the long haul because you just don't know. You've got to commit yourself to at least 90 days. But when you got somebody like that gentleman, been doing it for 25 months, didn't even notice until he noticed. Had no idea that it was having any effect and didn't expect it to, which is interesting. And that is a beautiful thing. That's like a second chance at life. You know what I mean? I mean, he already got the less wrinkles, like I can't wait to, my neck is less crepey and my wrinkles go down a little bit around my eyes. I don't have to be 20 years old anymore. I certainly don't need to be. I worked those 20s. I earned my 20s. They're done. But, the 30s, I think, kind of just slipped away. They just went. I don't know. So I wouldn't mind feeling more like in my 30s. I pretty much already do feel that way. I wouldn't like looking more like that. Or even 40. But in the meantime, I'm just going to keep embracing every moment, working on what I need to work on, not shying away, shining that light into the darkness, whether it's emotionally, physically, or mentally. I'm just going to keep shining the light. And so I encourage you to do the same thing one way or another, whether you reach out to me or not, whether, you just start, digging in. I'm reading Joe Dispenza book right now. I've got a list from my therapist/coach books that I need to get and start reading. It's funny because a couple of them I've already read and I've had them for years. I just don't know where I lost them because I obviously need to get them back and read them again. So, I went on Amazon, created a list, and Wayne was like, so how are we going to get, because he owes taxes, so that's brutal. Which is crazy. It doesn't make any sense, but that's okay. It'll all be okay. It's not the worst in the world. Just keep shining light wherever you can, guys. Just do it. Do it. So I'm going to get in the garden. I'm going to plant. I've got seedlings. I'm going to plant them, and then I think I'm going to mow. I really love being outside, so I got to do it. And I got to work on this tan and this vitamin D. I'm going to let you go for now. I hope you have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Bye.